the world begins to react to you differently. You don't need to announce your intentions. You don't need to ask for permission. You don't even need to prove yourself anymore. The evidence is in your presence. That presence is your aura. And your aura is nothing but a reflection of your dominant thoughts. It is the natural result of who you've become internally. The man who has gained control of his mind walks into any room and commands attention without saying a word. Not because of charm or performance, but because his internal energy radiates power. The masses can't explain it, but they feel it. That is what happens when you're aligned with your purpose, when your thoughts are under control, and when your habits reflect discipline. Your aura becomes a magnet for opportunity, respect, and results. The world doesn't just see your transformation, it feels it. Your aura cannot lie. You can speak well. You can dress sharp. But if your mind is weak, your aura will expose you. On the other hand, if your thoughts are disciplined, your emotions are calm, and your focus is locked on a definite purpose, your aura will elevate you beyond those with louder voices and flashier appearances. Success is not about noise. It is about vibration. The world doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to aligned energy. Most people chase success on the outside, but carry chaos on the inside. That's why they repel what they desire. But the man who builds his inner world with order, belief, and persistence will notice that people begin to treat him differently even before he's made it. That's because the inner success always arrives first. The outer success is just a delayed reflection of the work already done. You may not notice it at first, but the moment you stop reacting emotionally to every setback, the moment you begin to move with calm intensity instead of scattered desperation, your aura begins to change. People begin to sense that you're becoming someone else. They notice your silence has weight. Your decisions have intent. Your time has value. And slowly, you stop being overlooked. This shift does not happen because of luck. It happens because you have rebuilt your inner identity. You no longer think like the man who used to settle. You no longer walk like the man who begged for recognition. You carry the posture of a builder, quiet, focused, certain. That certainty cannot be faked. It is the result of thousands of quiet decisions. It is the reward of self-control, and it speaks louder than anything you can say. When you are getting close to success, the battles shift from physical to mental. You no longer fight for validation. You fight for control over your time, your thoughts, and your discipline. This is where most people fall off. They still think the fight is outside. But the seasoned mind knows the final mile is internal. The man who is nearly successful must now protect his focus like a treasure. He must avoid distractions that look like opportunities. He must walk past applause and criticism alike. Because at this stage, your aura becomes sharper than ever, but also more fragile. One step backward in thought can delay you months in reality. That's why your aura must be constantly fed with strong thoughts, high standards, and intense clarity of purpose. You can tell when a man is close to a breakthrough. He is no longer swayed by opinions. He is not desperate to explain himself. His movement becomes more structured. His words more intentional. He shows up early and stays late, not out of obligation, but because his mind is consumed with purpose. This man has reprogrammed himself to be led by vision, not emotion. And that transformation spills out of him. It walks into every room before he does. It sharpens his tone. It accelerates his results. This is the aura of a man who knows who he is. And that aura, more than talent, more than luck, more than charm, This aura is what attracts success like a magnet, because success is always looking for one thing: alignment. And this man is aligned. The masses are often confused when someone begins to carry a new aura. They assume arrogance. They whisper about change. But what they don't understand is that aura is not about ego. It's about evolution. When a man evolves, his aura must change. You cannot carry the energy of indecision, insecurity, and scarcity into the realm of success. It's incompatible. That's why life starts to strip things away when you commit to success. Old friendships fall off. Mediocre habits become intolerable. Environments that once felt safe now feel suffocating. This isn't loss. This is alignment. Your aura is shedding the weight of who you were so you can fully embody who you must become. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but necessary. You must accept that the brighter your aura becomes, the fewer people will understand you. And that's a good thing. Because your job is not to be understood by the average, it's to be aligned with the extraordinary. The aura of a man near success is defined by clarity. He knows what he wants. He knows what he must do. He doesn't waste time debating distractions. He does not seek to please everyone. He is governed by purpose, not popularity. That is what makes his energy rare. In a world addicted to chaos, the man who radiates focus becomes magnetic. He doesn't have to chase. Opportunities chase him, not because he's chasing success, but because he has become success in thought, in habit, in posture. Your aura is your resume before the results arrive. People feel your commitment. They feel your self-respect. They feel your no-nonsense attitude. And that feeling changes how they treat you. Because success is not just what you achieve, it's who you are becoming in the process. And when that becomes undeniable, your aura speaks it before you do. There is a silent moment before every breakthrough. A moment when nothing around you confirms the success you're working for, but your aura already does. You feel different. You think different. You move different. And that shift, though invisible to the eye, changes the course of everything. This is the point most people miss. They give up because they don't see results. But the wise understand results follow aura, and aura follows identity. You must become before you receive. You must think like the man who has already arrived. You must carry yourself like the man who already knows. Not fake it. Embody it. Live it. And in time, the outer world will catch up. Because the universe rewards internal alignment with external confirmation. It's not a mystery. It's a law. When you force yourself to control your thoughts, when you discipline your inner world, when you remove the weak words and replace them with decisive beliefs, your aura shifts. It becomes dense with power, unshakable, unmistakable. And that energy moves things in your favor. You will begin to experience synchronicities. You will meet the right people. You will be offered the right doors. But it all begins with your thoughts. Guard them. Sharpen them. Align them. Because your aura is the echo of your thoughts. You can change your income, your circle, and your future by changing what you think in silence. This is the path. This is the truth. And this, more than any strategy, is the edge that separates those who try from those who rise. The aura you project when you are close to success is not born from luck or charm. It is manufactured with discipline. Every hour you spend mastering your mind, every day you choose definiteness of purpose over drifting, every moment you reject fear and entertain faith, You forge the foundation of a magnetic aura that bends circumstances in your favor. It cannot be bought, it cannot be borrowed, and it most certainly cannot be faked. It is cultivated in silence, strengthened through hardship, and broadcasted through your very being. People often misunderstand this phenomenon. They assume a man is successful because he is confident. But I tell you this, he is confident because he has conquered himself. That confidence becomes the silent broadcaster of his aura. When you are close to success, you exude calm in chaos, power without words, certainty in the storm. This is the aura of a man who has dominion over his inner world, and the outer world begins to obey him. Understand this principle. Your aura is always communicating before you do. It speaks with a force that cannot be denied. That's why people respond to you differently when you elevate your standards. Not because you told them to, but because your energy demands it. Your habits tell them how to treat you. Your posture tells them who you are. Your thoughts determine the script they follow in your presence. It is not magic, it is psychology governed by vibrational law. The person who has clarity of thought, strength of will, and unwavering belief walks into every environment with power, not because he tries to dominate others, but because he refuses to be dominated by his own weakness. That is what creates an aura so dense, so intentional, so aligned, that the universe cannot ignore it. Success becomes inevitable to the one who prepares mentally and emotionally with this level of precision. When your aura begins to shift, you will notice the external world reacting in new ways. The old temptations lose their pull. The wrong people fall away. Unexpected opportunities arise. But do not let this surprise you. These are the natural effects of an internal cause. You are not being rewarded randomly. You are receiving what your thoughts have been broadcasting. Thought is the beginning of all creation. And when those thoughts are consistent, organized, and dominant in your consciousness, they shape your aura and set in motion the law of attraction. But this law does not bend to wishful thinking. It responds only to the thinker who has removed contradiction from his mind, the man who believes what he says, feels what he thinks, and acts upon what he desires with conviction. That man becomes a beacon. That man becomes magnetic. That man becomes successful because he already is in his spirit. Do not overlook the power of repetition in shaping this aura. The man who speaks affirmations once and wonders why nothing changes is no different than the man who eats once and expects lifelong strength. You must repeat. You must reinforce. You must declare the truth of who you are becoming until it becomes the only reality your mind accepts. In time, your subconscious absorbs the new identity, and from that point on, your aura begins to project without effort. You become automatic in belief. You no longer wrestle with self-doubt. You dismiss it as irrelevant. You no longer question your worth. You embody it. This is the level of internal command required to sustain high-level success. Anything less, and your aura will falter under pressure. But with repetition, discipline, and unwavering faith, your energy becomes your silent ambassador, winning deals, attracting allies, and silencing critics before you utter a single word. Another hallmark of the aura near success is stillness. While the world chases and scrambles, the man who is aligned moves with deliberate calm. He does not run after results. He draws them in with focus. This does not mean he is idle. It means he is guided by purpose, not panic. That stillness speaks volumes. It communicates power. It conveys mastery. And it confuses those who do not understand internal wealth. To the undisciplined, silence is weakness. But to the master, silence is dominance. This is the aura of the man who does not need validation. because he has validated himself through action, through integrity, through relentless internal work. When you reach this level, you will find yourself speaking less but impacting more, doing less but achieving more, wanting less but receiving more, because your very presence becomes a statement of excellence, and excellence attracts its equal. You must also understand that your aura acts as a filter. It will begin to repel what is misaligned and attract what is in harmony. This is not always comfortable. There will be people who used to laugh with you who now look at you with unease. There will be rooms you used to feel welcomed in where now you feel out of place. Do not resist this. Celebrate it. It means your frequency is rising. It means your identity is shifting. It means your thoughts have matured beyond mediocrity. You are no longer trying to fit in. You are preparing to stand out. Let your aura do the filtering. Let the discomfort create distance. Because success does not visit those who cling to the familiar. It rewards those who evolve, who elevate, who are willing to let go of the old self in order to embrace the new. Many ask, how do I know I am close to success? I say, observe your own thoughts. Are they clearer than ever? Do you wake up with purpose instead of confusion? Have you stopped negotiating with your lower self? Are you more focused on becoming than proving? If so, then success is already at your doorstep. Your aura is broadcasting it. Your energy is shaping it. Your silence is confirming it. These are the signs. Not applause, not validation, but inner conviction. The moment you stop seeking and start radiating, you have entered the realm where success cannot escape you. You have aligned your thoughts with action. You have aligned your habits with vision. And now, the aura around you pulses with the energy of inevitability. You are no longer hoping. You are knowing. That is the shift that separates those who dream from those who achieve. There is a sacred space that exists in the life of every great achiever, a space where the internal work has reached such intensity that the external world begins to bend in obedience. You begin to meet people who match your vision. You begin to see doors open where before there were only walls. You begin to walk through challenges that would have broken your former self. This space is not an accident. It is a creation. It is the result of thought mastered, of emotion controlled, of discipline made non-negotiable. It is the reward of years of unseen labor, and the aura it creates is unmistakable. It is not boastful, but it is bold. It does not seek to overpower others, but it refuses to be overpowered. This is the aura that builds empires. This is the aura that leads generations. This is the aura that announces, without speaking, that the man has become the embodiment of success itself. Guard your thoughts with more intensity than you guard your money, because your aura is funded by belief. Every thought of weakness bankrupts your energy. Every thought of fear corrodes your power. But every thought of courage builds your momentum. Every thought of purpose compounds your strength. And every thought of faith constructs the aura that draws success to you like metal to a magnet. Do not entertain thoughts that do not serve the man you are becoming. Do not indulge in conversations that diminish your belief. Do not allow environments that dull your edge. Because every moment you compromise your mental standard, your aura dims. And success is too precise, too intelligent, too selective to align itself with a man who is dimming his own light. You must shine from within so powerfully, so consistently, that the world has no choice but to rearrange itself in your favor. The final proof that your aura is signaling the nearness of success is this. Your pace increases, but your pressure decreases. You move faster with less stress. You work harder with less fear. You demand more from yourself, but with joy, not guilt. This is what happens when thought and action are in perfect harmony. Your energy is not being wasted on doubt. Your time is not being consumed by distraction. Your path is clear. Your fire is internal. And your aura becomes a force of nature. You begin to move in a flow that others admire but cannot replicate. They call it luck. They call it talent. But you know, it is mastery. Mastery of thought. Mastery of self. And mastery, more than anything else, is what creates the aura of greatness. There comes a period in every disciplined thinker's life when the aura he has crafted through mental mastery becomes his dominant asset in the world. Not his money, not his reputation, not his associations, but his inner radiance, his vibration of power, refined through years of inner warfare and conquest. That aura becomes the proof of dominion. And the one who carries such energy no longer chases opportunity. It arrives. The doors once bolted shut begin to open, not because they were forced, but because the frequency has changed. No longer broadcasting fear, confusion, or desperation, the individual now emits certainty, clarity, and absolute belief. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. And the world, governed by natural law, must respond accordingly. For the man who has full command over his thought, emotion, and conduct becomes the architect of his destiny, and his aura becomes the signal to the universe that the time has come for harvest. Let us now analyze the distinguishing marks of such an aura. First, there is unshakable composure. The man who is close to success does not flinch under pressure. Why? Because his mind is conditioned through struggle. His reactions are not based on impulse but governed by principle. Emotion serves him, not controls him. And this self-command radiates outward. People trust his presence. They feel anchored in his energy. He does not need to boast, nor does he beg for attention. His confidence is not in his words, it is in the vibration his presence emits. This is what attracts high-value relationships, partnerships, and results. It is not manipulation, it is magnetism. And magnetism is only available to those who have mastered the laws of vibration, those who think clearly, speak with intention, and move with unwavering self-belief. The second trait of the aura close to success is a heightened sense of purpose. There is no more drifting. The man who is aligned knows where he is going. He has burned his ships. There is no plan B. And that level of decisiveness is magnetic in a world full of hesitation. People do not follow those who merely speak of goals. They follow those who embody them. And embodiment requires consistency of thought, speech, and action. You must live your aim. You must carry it in your posture, in your tone, in your decisions. When you do, your aura transmits clarity, and clarity is rare, thus attractive. Opportunities begin to flow because the universe recognizes a vessel worthy of carrying responsibility. And what is success but the accumulation of responsibilities handled with excellence? Only the one with a refined aura can be trusted with that load. That trust must be earned through daily inner work. Third, observe the aura of still persistence. The one close to success does not make noise about his journey. He does not explain his moves to the crowd. He does not seek applause or permission. He moves in silence, but with thunder beneath his feet. His progress is internal before it is visible. But make no mistake, his aura is loud. It speaks for him. It whispers to the world that something powerful is in motion. This man has direction. This man has vision. This man cannot be distracted. And those who sense his energy either rise to match it or fall away. That is the power of the aura. It rearranges the environment before the man even acts. And that reorganization is not accidental. It is the result of thousands of internal choices to think clearly, act with discipline, and ignore the noise of lesser minds. There's also an invisible law that accompanies this energy, the law of equivalent exchange. When you give your full self to the vision, when your thoughts are aligned, your habits consistent, and your emotions stable, you activate a return flow. The universe begins to send back to you the same quality you have been giving. This is why a refined aura cannot be faked. The man who pretends confidence but doubts in secret will never receive the fruits of true power. His vibration will betray him. People feel it. Circumstances respond to it. Energy cannot lie. Only when you have invested honestly in your growth, without shortcuts, without compromise, will your aura begin to attract the rewards you desire. Until then, you are merely signaling confusion. And confusion is repelled by all that is excellent. The world rewards clarity, decisiveness, and alignment. These qualities must be earned internally. Now let us speak of the fourth hallmark of this aura, emotional transmutation. Most people are slaves to their feelings. They rise and fall based on external events. But the man nearing success uses emotion as fuel. He does not suppress pain, he refines it. He does not fear anger, he channels it. He does not escape discomfort, he transforms it into hunger. This mastery gives his aura depth. It becomes layered, textured, and immovable. The world cannot sway him because his emotional core is self-regulated. That is the highest form of power, not controlling others, but controlling yourself. And when you reach this level, your aura becomes both calm and intense. It becomes welcoming to the strong and intimidating to the weak. Why? Because it mirrors back to people what they truly are. You no longer adjust to others, they adjust to you. This is how the individual becomes a leader in any room without ever seeking the position. He becomes it. Fifth, the aura of one close to success emits inevitability. People begin to say, he's going to make it. Not because you've told them, but because every move you make confirms it. There is no more doubt in your steps. There is no more conflict in your words. You are now living your philosophy. And when thought, speech, and action are fused, your energy becomes unstoppable. This is not theory. This is law. The law of vibration dictates that like attracts like. If you emit uncertainty, you attract resistance. If you emit strength, you attract opportunities. And when you are fused with purpose, the world becomes a mirror of your conviction. Yes, challenges will come, but you meet them with anticipation, not fear. You begin to recognize obstacles not as signs to quit, but as confirmation that you are on the edge of growth. That belief alone thickens your aura with faith. Let us now delve into one of the most advanced traits of this aura, detachment. The individual who is close to success is no longer controlled by outcomes. He desires results, yes, but he does not beg for them. He does not chase validation. His self-worth is not tied to external events. This makes his aura powerful because he is dangerous to manipulation. The man who cannot be bribed with praise or threatened with loss becomes ungovernable. He becomes a king unto himself, and the world respects that power It bows to it not in servitude, but in reverence, because detachment is not coldness. It is independence. And independence of mind is the final gate to sustained success. Only those who rise above the need for approval become leaders of industries, builders of empires, and authors of history. Their aura declares, "I know who I am, and nothing outside of me can shake it." That declaration echoes in every interaction. Another key feature that signals proximity to success is a sharpened intuition. The one who has mastered his thoughts begins to sense more. He can read people without words. He can detect deception behind smiles. He can foresee opportunities before they become visible. This is not superstition, it is heightened awareness. When your inner world is clear, your outer perception sharpens. You begin to see patterns, recognize synchronicities, and hear the whispers of destiny that others are too distracted to catch. That insight gives your aura an almost mystical quality. People feel understood in your presence, not because you've spoken, but because you listen deeper than words. You are no longer reactive. You are responsive. And that subtlety is what separates the master from the amateur. The man who trusts his intuition and pairs it with disciplined action becomes unstoppable. His aura radiates foresight, which attracts alignment. In this realm of spiritual and mental mastery, there is no final destination. The aura must be maintained. Just as muscles decay without effort, so too does energy dim without discipline. That is why the one who is truly close to success never ceases in his refinement. He studies daily. He reflects. He corrects. He evolves. His identity is fluid, but his purpose is fixed. And this combination keeps his aura fresh. It never stagnates. It never grows stale. It continues to grow in strength and purity. And that consistency becomes his trademark. People no longer wonder if he will succeed. They watch to see how far he will go, because the question is no longer if, but how much. That is the final transformation. From doubt to inevitability, from effort to embodiment, from chasing to attracting. The aura reveals it all. When you step into the realm of supreme self-awareness and energetic command, you begin to realize something profound. Your aura is no longer just a field of energy. It becomes your declaration. It announces you before you speak. It precedes your handshake. It communicates before you open your mouth. This is why the man who understands the power of his aura focuses obsessively on what he allows into his mind. Every thought he entertains either polishes or pollutes that signal. Every belief he carries is either a magnet or a repellent. And so he guards his consciousness like a fortress. He understands that the world is not responding to what he wants, it's responding to what he is. And what he is can be traced directly to the dominant thought patterns he has cultivated over time. A refined aura, then, is nothing more than a perfected mental climate, matured through discipline and sealed with spiritual certainty. You see, success does not begin with tactics. It begins with tone. And tone is born from inner calibration. A man may wear fine suits, drive expensive cars, and deliver eloquent speeches, but if his thoughts are rooted in fear, scarcity, and insecurity, his aura will sabotage him. You cannot fake alignment. You can decorate your outer life, but the vibration you emit will always be honest. This is why true wealth builders are not obsessed with appearing successful. They are obsessed with becoming aligned. Their internal state takes precedence over external impression because they understand that the most powerful currency in this universe is not money, it is energy. And the energy of a man in integrity, purpose, and belief can move mountains. He does not compete, he commands. Not through domination, but through frequency. And that frequency can only be earned by mastering your mind. Let us speak of a rarely discussed but vital component of your aura, your intentions. Hidden intentions corrupt your energy. If your goals are built on ego, revenge, or shallow validation, your aura will carry distortion. You may achieve temporary wins, but they will not last, because energy built on deception collapses under truth. But if your intentions are rooted in growth, service, and self-mastery, your aura will carry depth. People will sense trustworthiness. The universe will open doors with less resistance. And that ease is not luck, it is resonance. You are in rhythm with universal law. You are not scheming your way into success. You are aligning yourself into it. That difference changes everything. It changes how you are received. It changes the kind of people who enter your life. It changes the kind of opportunities that stick. And ultimately, it changes the legacy you leave behind. Another overlooked sign of an aura on the brink of greatness is restraint. The one nearing real success has grown beyond the need to prove. He does not post every move. He does not announce every decision. He does not defend himself to critics. Why? Because his inner world is louder than the noise of the crowd. He no longer needs applause to believe. He no longer needs permission to act. This kind of restraint is not silence. It is sovereignty. It is the mark of a man who has tamed his ego and aligned with principle. That energy becomes unmistakable. When he walks into a room, he does not beg for attention. He simply is. And the world adjusts accordingly. That is the power of restraint. It multiplies your presence by removing your need to be seen. And in doing so, it makes you magnetic. Let us now examine how your aura can influence time itself. When you operate in alignment, you move in flow. You begin to experience what some call divine timing. Coincidences increase. Opportunities arrive with precision. Solutions appear when needed. And this is not mysticism, it is alignment with law. When your inner world is orderly, your outer world synchronizes. You are no longer at the mercy of chaos, you move with clarity. And this clarity sharpens your decisions. You waste less energy. You move with purpose. You avoid detours, and that saves time. In a world where most people waste decades in confusion, your aura becomes a compass. It bends time in your favor because you are no longer scattering your energy. You are concentrated, focused, and anchored in direction. This is why the man with an aligned aura often achieves in 5 years what others fail to build in 50. But remember, clarity is not a gift. It is a responsibility. And your aura must be maintained daily. You cannot rely on momentum alone. You must renew your focus. You must eliminate distractions. You must audit your thoughts. You must refresh your beliefs. And you must do it not once, but as a ritual. The most powerful individuals in history did not wait for motivation. They mastered their rituals. Their morning routines were sacred. Their thoughts were intentional. Their environments were curated. Their inputs were filtered. And their energy was protected like treasure. That is why their aura grew over time. It became a fortress, a beacon, a lighthouse in the storm. And those who encountered them left changed, not because of words spoken, but because of the vibration they carried. That is what you must aim for. Not popularity, but power. Not approval, but alignment. Not speed, but depth. Now let us shift to one of the final revelations of this journey. Your aura becomes your legacy. Long after you are gone, your presence remains in memories, in stories, in influence. And what people remember most is not what you said, it's how they felt in your presence. That feeling was your energy. That energy was your aura. And that aura was the sum of every thought, belief, decision, and action you repeated over a lifetime. That's why I urge you, refine it daily, not for applause, not for attention, but for legacy, for impact, for your soul's expansion. Every moment is a choice. Will you add power to your field or dilute it with distraction? Will you think with clarity or let chaos rule? Will you act with courage or collapse in fear? Your aura is being written in every breath. Make it worth remembering. As we reach the close of this journey, let me leave you with this final truth. Success is not something you chase, it is something you align with. And alignment begins in the unseen. It begins in your thoughts, in your standards, in your beliefs, in your willingness to rise every day and do the work no one applauds, in your refusal to quit when the noise gets loud, in your discipline when the rewards are delayed, in your integrity when no one is watching. This is how a powerful aura is built, not by accident, but by design. And when that design is complete, when your thoughts are sharp, your heart is clean, and your purpose is clear, you become a force, an undeniable presence.